The guy actually put seems like he's stressed out.
Yes, I'll try to do that.
Thank you. Ok, estamos en vivo desde Orlando, Florida, con Christopher Gergen, mi esposo. So now I'm going to start speaking English so he can understand what I'm speaking. And as well as I was telling you, this is the second day of the convention of the CPAC. What CPAC means?
Conservative Political Action Committee.
Okay, so we really don't know what the people been speaking today, but as far as we know is that Mr. DeSantis was over there today, Rick Scott was over there today. Well, Don Jr. closed the conference today at 3 something, but because we was flying, we really don't know what they was talking about. But what are we expecting? Tomorrow we're gonna be in the Reagan dinner to be speaking with your colleague and friends. Probably gonna see a lot of people that we meet before when we used to live here in Florida in Broward County. So I understand that we don't know what they been speaking today, but what do we expect? What do you expect? For example, on Sunday, we know that the President Trump will be speaking to close this big event, the biggest event of conservative people in the United States and probably in the world. So, what do you expect about this? What do you think?
I think the CPAC this year is really. I think it's.
Can you hear? I don't know if you can hear it because you speak a little. It's not like me, but that's it.
So, I'll talk this way.
Yeah.
So I think the CPAC this year is going to really define whether or not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I think that it's going to define where the Republican Party is going to go in the future, whether or not they support President Trump and the America First agenda or not. And just by
Thank you.
so just by the fact that Mitch McConnell isn't there this year. Liz Cheney is not there this year. All of the establishment goons that have screwed up the Republican Party and have helped to screw up America aren't there this year. The only people that are there are people that support the president. Mike Pence is not there. And I've never liked Mike Pence, even when he was on the ticket in 2016. I didn't like him. Even knows that. I've always been very clear about that. I've always supported the president, supported the president's decisions. I didn't necessarily agree with that one because I didn't trust him. I believe he's an establishment swamp creature. Reince Priebus is another establishment swamp creature. He brought in Reince Priebus from the RNC. CPAC is becoming, in my mind, what the Republican National Committee should be. Our PAC, the New Patriot PAC in Washington State, and then the New Patriot Super PAC is going to fill in the gaps and do what the RNC should be doing, but isn't doing. And so that's kind of what I think is going to happen in the next today, tomorrow, and then Sunday.
That's what I wait too. I'm waiting that what we call Renos, the establishment, the bad ones. I believe they're draining now, huh? This one is clean by itself, by their action. They're showing who really they are. They're showing who are them, who really they are, right? So I believe it's going to be a good opportunity for that. And I believe people start waking up a lot. Like it's so sad that through a pandemic, people is waking up, but something had to happen in order to people wake up and understand what socialism means now that people is living under when you go to the supermarket, they said to you, you can buy this but just one, you can get this but just one. So that is something like only in socialist countries you see, and now you're seeing here, even if they got extras, they're just trying to limit the things to give you to see our behave, to see they're measuring us how much tolerance we got to this. And I believe the country is waking up. I believe this pandemic was actually worse for their purpose, because people don't stay just in their home and playing Nintendo. People been reading, seeing new conservative channels through YouTube, and that's why they're persecuting them. That's why they quiet them, and that's what's really we live in South America with the people that been living in a socialist country. So probably you didn't understand before, but now you can feel it. And you're a military, you are a veteran, so you understand because you've been fighting outside of the country. So you understand, but most of the people in the United States don't understand that. I know it's hurting a lot of people. I know it's a lot of people dying, but I believe sometimes in order to learn, you have to pass for pain. It's so sad what's happening. It's so sad to see your rights like I don't know, violated. I don't know how to say that, but it's never late to wake up. I'm super happy that Mr. Trump is the second time that he's gonna be speaking publicly after he left the White House. The first time he did it in Newsmax, and they cut it in YouTube. All his conversation, they cut it, ban it. So probably today, on Sunday, he will not be speaking about the F. You know what I mean? F. The people trying to speak, about fraud, but F means fraud, and the media, big media, are trying to not use that word because he's been speaking that in Newsmax, and that's why they banned that, because they're not allowed to nobody speak about the.
They're going to talk about it. I mean, YouTube is only one medium. They're going to be streaming this on Fox Nation, and they're going to be streaming it a lot of different places. Just because something's not on YouTube, it doesn't really make a difference. There's Rumble. There's several other platforms, BitChute. I mean, there's a lot of different platforms. And I mean, we're watching social media put a gun in its mouth and kill itself. I mean, I think Twitter won't be around in 6-7 years. I honestly, I don't think Twitter will be around. I think it'll collapse underneath the weight of its own fraud and underneath the weight of its own censorship. I think Facebook will be vastly diminished because I believe that Apple is going to rip its heart out through the things that they're doing, because Facebook violates people's privacy, and Apple, that is a strategic opportunity for Apple. And they've already taken steps to hurt Facebook. So there's a lot of changes that are coming, and I think that if the left believes that they can just continue to do the things that they've done at the pace that they're doing them, I think that they're vastly underestimating the people in the country. I want to be clear about something about the mask. Like the mask, I don't mind the mask. If you want to wear one, wear it. What I mind is the mandate. That's what I mind. And the mandates on the businesses. How it should have gone and how it should still be here is, if your company or your business wants to require people to wear masks, that's between you and your customers. If you as an individual want to wear a mask, wear it. If you don't want to wear a mask, then don't wear it. But
body choice.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it has become tiresome. 2 weeks to flatten the curve has turned into a year. And in many places, the restrictions have gotten even more, they continue to get more and more strict. California, New York, now all of a sudden that Biden is the president, magically, all of a sudden, it's just magic. Just magically, all of a sudden, COVID is starting to disappear.
Do you notice some things between last year, about June, July, when you've been flying? Because I noticed that last year, the people who worked in the planes, they was rude about the mask. And what are your masks and this? And I had a mask, and they gave me another one because they want me to use the ones he wants, and I didn't, because I have my own one. And do you see today in the, I will not say the name of the company because probably I put them in trouble because they can track everything through the media. But do you see that the person was like, no forcing you to wear the mask, very nice to say, can you put your mask up? And he took and take his mask out and come to you to talk with them because people need to see each other. It's in our nature, right? So do you see people is getting tired about that? And the people or they're idiots when they're wearing the mask, or they're trying to be nicer now, because service in the end is what made this country strong. Customer service. When you are in South America and you are learning business administration, most of the books we read, most of the books we learn, it's about the great customer service in the United States, how the big companies, the branding and this, blah, blah. So that's your nature too, because this country is from tourism, from service, to try to be the best. And of course, we the Latinos are most of the person who serve here. So we try to have good attitude too. If not, we get fired, right? So people is noticing that. People is noticing that the customer service has to be the best in the world, to bring people, because people over here live from tips too. So it's very important, the customer service. And part of that is try to, or stop being rude with the orders to the employees. You must enforce the people to wear the mask. People is changing the attitude, and I'm happy for that. I noticed today in the two, thank you, in the two slides we got today, and I'm happy for that. I see at least something positive about it. Yeah. So before I finish this, I want to ask you about I call Mr. Frauden. Mr. Frauden, I call to Mr. Biden, just for let you know. I don't know if you know that. And he been tweeting like when the President Trump was in the administration, he was speaking all the time, tweeting about Donald Trump gonna cause the third war. Is it irresponsible that he gonna push the button and make a war, blah, blah, blah. And he did see the war. He made peace in the war. And now he did something that not even his staff knew about it. He bombed Syria. How can you explain that? And with that, we say bye-bye and we get the dinner. What do you think about it?
I mean, he's a product of the military-industrial complex here.
Correct.
I mean,
yeah,
there's
that's how we've been living forever.
Wars, there's money to be made when bombs are being dropped, and when you're not dropping bombs, then you're not making money.
Yeah, and that's a different problem because Trump has business. He don't need to bomb other countries to keep doing business and do money. This guy only knows how to do money through the government, bombing places. Period. Bye. See ya.